Welcome to the You Heard podcast, your go-to for Miami Hurricanes football. Ben, Joe, Polk, and CB break down recruiting, hot topics, and game day action.
All right, we'll talk about it at the end.
No, let's talk about this right now because you completely flipped it on me now.
I hate him for knowing this, bro. This man knew the brand, dog.
Okay, I don't appreciate that. I'm saying like,
what are we talking about, son?
Get into it. I felt
Keeping it a buck.
Let me close these curtains real quick.
You heard. Yo, what's going on, family?
What up?
Is Joe eating maraschino cherries in this? Is that?
And I know CB. These are real cherries.
Okay,
I got some of those downstairs.
Homegrown cherries. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I didn't grow mine at my fucking house, but I have some downstairs.
But it's season. What's going on?
What's going on, fam?
Everybody doing?
What up, boys?
How's
He's
everybody,
gonna
man?
get
How's
the snacks
everybody?
now. See, I triggered him.
Yeah.
He made him mad.
Okay, I see your cherries. He's going to raise you one too. Watch.
Right.
You're gonna come
See
out here with
cherries.
with a whole thing of fucking Starburst. What's going on, Joey? How you doing, brother?
Life, man, chilling. Football's over, so really nothing.
Right now.
Yeah, this is the longest off season ever. Like, it's ridiculous.
And we're technically not even in off season yet.
Not even. We still got months left.
Yeah.
These are homegrown bananas. I grew these on my banana tree in the backyard.
Good job.
Just picked these this morning. You know what I'm saying? Got these from I got a botanical garden in the pantry that I built. It's like an indoor
Okay.
Right.
situation.
Yeah.
I feel like you're making this up. Yeah.
Okay. No, it's all good. Congrats. Good job.
Is that? Can I ask y'all a question? Is that the first time he's shown fruits? And
Yeah, I've never seen anything. I've seen fruit flavors, yes, but not actual. Yes.
with words we can't spell. Yeah.
Get this
What's
dog.
going on, Polk? How you doing? How you doing, brother?
They're okay. Now we're back to
There we go.
Let's
get what's really popping.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Those bananas haven't been touched, son. We talk about.
You notice how I always have these in arm's reach? Like, no matter what, there's a bag of these in arm's reach.
Facts.
All right,
That's the
Polk,
real
what's going on, man? Yeah.
not much, man. Just it's coming down to the end of the year, so things are busy at work and stuff, but just family things, hanging out, just get ready for Christmas, that type of thing. Finally got the Christmas lights up last weekend.
Oh, that's nice. We decorated the tree. We haven't put up the ornaments, but the lights are on. It's just been a tree with lights on. It's a very slow process. Yeah,
But they're the ones with the lights built in, though, right? You just plug it in.
No.
Oh.
We put the lights on. Yeah, we put them on. Yeah, all white lights. You know what I'm saying? CB, what's going on, brother? You got your snacks? You ready? We're gonna talk today.
Yeah. Interesting weekend so far. Heisman ceremony was last night. It's the coolest award in the
It's so disrespectful
in sports. Yeah, I feel a way about some of that, but it's always entertaining to watch. Congratulations to Mr. Travis Hunter for winning. It's always weird when college football starts to dwindle down. But there were some bowl games on yesterday. There were some games on. I watched Jackson State, North Dakota State. There was still some football on to watch. So just a chill weekend. Been working on some evals and stuff for 27 kids and 26 kids, and working on some graphics for some players. They finished their season up, so trying to get some guys some eyes that probably need some extra eyes. So I'm trying to help out a few kids, make them some graphics.
Trying to get some. trying to get some guys some eyes. Just like, yo, man, shout out to all the South Florida teams that won their state title, man. Shout out to the West. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to American. Shout out to Malachi Tony out dueling, you know what I'm saying, a definite 5-star quarterback, and Darian Coleman, because he balled out too. You know what I'm saying? So it's man, yo, I cannot wait for him to be on, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of good football, man. Shout out to the West. Shout out to Teddy Bridgewater's first year. You know what I'm saying? Being a head coach and taking them to the championship, man. That's dope.
Domination, too. Domination.
Yeah, 41-0, man. Shout out to
they have a
Sorry, the little Duval came all the way down.
2027 receiver, Nicholas Lanier.
Yeah, they sick out there, though. They sick. They're only gonna get better.
This kid is going to be a 5-star. You hear me? On both sides of the football. This kid is insane.
Gotta lock that down.
Insane, this kid.
Mm-hmm. All right, man. Let's get into it. As always, give you a little behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? Big brother Joe goes, "Hey, man, I think it was Friday, so he was thinking about it early. Hey, man, I got a question for Sunday's show. We were before
your question, yeah. Before we really get into stuff, I just had a few things. I just needed. No, it's not. But since I wasn't able to be here on Wednesday's show for our 200th, y'all got to throw out your flowers and everything. I kind of wanted to throw some of mine out too. So just wanted to say it's been a pleasure and a lot of fun being a part of this with you guys. I mean, I came in around, I don't know, episode 137, 114, something like that. I don't know.
115.
115. Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, no, just being able to do this, it's something it's something I never saw myself doing. Always watched and listened to all the Canes podcasts and everything like that. But just a chance to get to come on the show early on as a guest when we did the tell your Canes story type thing, and just making a connection with you guys and just kind of growing it from there, and you guys taking a chance on practically a nobody in this world. Just throwing it out to me. I really appreciate that, and being able to, not only get to know you guys and become brothers in this, but, everybody else that I've had a chance to meet just through our show and everything. And, it kind of brought out something to me that I haven't really explored in a very long time. And that's kind of like the creative side of things. I mean, I used to do it a lot when I was younger and just kind of fell by the wayside, but coming into this and then, kind of dipping into like the edits and the graphics and just kind of growing from there, it just really, kind of sparked a little something in me. So, something that, you kind of get a heads up on, and, especially when you get to mine and Joe's age, you start thinking about.
Wait, wow. I still be in there.
We all appreciated that stray. We all apprecited that stray. We all
don't
did.
know for the strays. Don't know for the strays.
Hey, I think
that was a fantastic one.
No, you just start thinking about stuff like once your like kind of career is dwindling down, you want something to do, you kind of like a hobby or something you can keep up with, and that that's something that's gone through my mind, kind of pursuing that later on in life and getting there. But a lot of that is just you guys bringing me on and just taking a shot, and I've really enjoyed it. I've really appreciated it, and kind of the friendship and the bond that we've all been able to develop. So I just wanted to get out there since I wasn't there on Wednesday and couldn't be a part of it. But yeah, so just really appreciate
it. I'll say
cry again, son. They've been crying.
Son, I watched.
I was gonna say, Polk, if you could have put about 2 more minutes on that thing, you'd have had his ass.
Would have had it.
You would have had it, though.
His ass.
First of all, I watched Family Man last night. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Nicolas Cage Christmas movie. So I got, that's a dope ass movie. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. Nah, man, I want to tell you, Polk, like, man, you've been such a great addition to the show, man. Like, your perspective and your friendship and your brotherhood has been essential, man. Because you really, like I told you when we added you, I was like, yo, we're done. Like, we're not adding. There's nobody. There'll be like guests, that'll pop in. But this is it. This is you heard, bro. Like, you've been essential to this. Your perspective, your life experience, the way you express yourself and you're always yourself is 100% who you need to be always with us, man. And we appreciate you taking the offer because this is time, right? Like this isn't easy. Like the shit people don't know is the fucking 7 a.m. messages were like, yo, what do you think about this edit? What do you think about this one? You want to fix this one? You know what I'm saying? Like, and the creativity. This shirt you created. You know what I'm saying? This is you right here. Like this is literally your signature. So you've been, you know what I'm saying, you cook up things when we don't even tell you to, and that's essential to growing the show. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, hey man, do this. It's not directives. Everybody takes it upon themselves to be creative because we want this shit to work. So that's been amazing, man. And thank you for coming on. Because you were our second ever What's Your Kane story. The first one was Panhandle Kane, and we had you on. I was like, yo, and me and Joe talked about it for months. We're like, yo, we need to probably be good at Polk. And then as we got to know you and, you know what I'm saying, really get to know you besides the show, I was like, yeah, it's an absolute yes. So thank you for coming on. Yeah, episode 115 is when the group chat started. And yeah, that is when the group chat started. And the day I think it was like a Sunday was your first show. I think after we got Cam Ward, funny enough.
Yeah.
Really?
That's because
crazy.
I had gone to Dallas for Christmas that year. So I kind of, I put it in his ear while I was there, so.
Yeah. We know you had a lot to do with it. We know you had a lot to do with it.
Right, exactly.
They didn't even thank you. They should have sent you a percentage of that.
Something, man. I mean, I'd have taken a t-shirt.
Crazy.
I'd have taken a t-shirt. That'd be fun.
It's crazy for you to say that was Polk's first show, because if you think, like, I can't, as weird as it sounds, I can't really picture us not having Polk. Like, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it feels weird to think like it hasn't been that many, because it does feel like it has been. It's even weird to think that there was a show before without all four.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah,
it's 115. I'm like, what are we talking about?
I was like, what?
That means he's only been on
78 or some shit like that. Like,
right, he's only been on 80, 85 episodes.
They don't feel right.
That doesn't make sense. I don't know what that means, but all right, yeah, no doubt. Polk, love you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Love you, brother. Appreciate y'all.
Let's get
Hold up, real quick.
Okay.
Salute to the chat. You know what I mean? We love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Please hit that like button. Please subscribe. We will get to your questions and comments at about the 25-30 minute mark. All right, we'll get to you guys. So please keep commenting, keep asking questions, and we're gonna get to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
All right, go ahead. Now that we're back, we're done with all that sappy shit. Go ahead.
Let's get it.
All right, who's it? Me or you? Me or you, man?
No, it's you. Let's get you. Let's get before we get started. Yeah, before we do the show. Yeah, you got a question.
All right, so I want to shout out. I want to shout out John Cafecito and Canes. I was watching the show with him and our CB on there. I think it was last week or something like that.
Wednesday.
Towards the end of the show, he asked a great question to CB, man. He talked about coaches prior to Coach Cristobal.
Oh yeah,
their records.
Yeah.
For the first 2 years, the trajectory, and then what happened in the fourth year, I think, right? CB or something like that. So with our coach,
let me look at you.
With our coach, right? First year, 5-7.
Yep.
Right. Second year, 7-5. Third year, this year, 10-3. 10-2. I keep wanting to say 10-3.
No. Let's not. I'll put this shit out there.
Go ahead, CB.
You want me to give the context real quick on what? So I didn't know this pattern either, but I'll just give it real quick. So you got Randy Shannon came in at 5-7, then 7-6, 9-4, then the slide to 7-6, and he's out of there.
Fired.
Holding 6-6, 7-5, 9-4, slide to 6-7. Came up a little bit for that 8-5, but he gone.
Yep.
Mark Rick, 9-4, 10-3, slid down to 7-6, and he gone.
And I think Mark Rick is the asterisk because of his health. I think he would have. I think he would have been.
But it's still a weird trend.
It's still a weird trend.
Trend nonetheless.
Absolutely.
Manny Diaz, 6-7, 8-3, 8-3, slide down to 7-5. 7-5, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, 8-3, and we're gone.
Yeah.
Mario Cristobal, 5-7, 7-6, 8-2,
10 and 2.
10-2.
10-2.
All right. So my question is, does Coach Cristobal, it's a two-part question. Business-wise, thinking as the AD, president, whatever, do you retain him if in 25 we go, let's say 8-4 or 7 and anything less than 10 wins? Do we retain him as a business, as a school and a business? And on the flip side of that, does he deserve to be retained? Because we know talent acquisition is not a problem.
Nope.
Right? Not a problem. Does he deserve to be retained if he can't maintain 10 wins and if he can't get Miami over the hump in the playoffs, winning in the playoffs? Does he deserve to be retained after the 25 season?
And we're choosing violence this morning. Okay.
No, we're saying it's an 8-win season.
8, 7, you know what I mean? A downturn.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Let's say 2 games. Let's start at 8.
Yeah,
right?
let's stay consistent with the trend. Let's say it's 8. It's 8 to 7. It's 7 to 8. Because that's kind of what it's been. So let's say it's 7 to 8 wins.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, yeah.
We're gonna assume the rivals is one of these. Like, does he beat the rivals? Because all that shit factors in.
Splits. Let's say splits.
Yeah, let's say we play Florida and Florida State next season.
Cool.
Yeah, back to back.
Yeah, so we split it. We lose to Florida and beat Florida State.
Do we beat Notre Dame on that 8?
No.
Okay. Strictly business. No. Yes, this is what it is.
One part is strictly business. Second part is strictly personal. Second part.
Okay.
Just thinking about it, because like I just want to give an example. Oregon, he did what he did. Dan Lanning goes to Oregon, and that shit is astronomical now. It's not what it's another level now. What? Go ahead.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll kick it off if that's cool with y'all. Give y'all more time to think, because it is a good question. Strictly business. If the continuation of the talent acquisition continues to grow, not reaches, right? Like I think year 1 was reaches with talent acquisition. Let's keep it. We strictly business. This is because look, we have to start speaking about this shit like it is strictly business because everybody's getting paid. This is business. This is no longer a personal attack or anything like that. 4th year, you take 2 losses. You take a 2. You know what I'm saying? You're down 2 losses and you lose to Notre Dame and you lose to Florida or Florida State. Flip it out. Right? So let's say you're 6-2 and you're on the outside looking in again for the playoffs. You have to start evaluating it. It'll be slow move. You have to start evaluating on what you need to do because you're at a rate now where you could expedite the process, right? Like we see it with, like you said, Oregon. You have where you could expedite the process because everybody jumps in the portal. Freshmen can jump in the portal. Somebody who signs their documents now can jump in the portal after spring. So everything's different. That like it would show to me, right? Strictly business that the people who are evaluating, besides himself, were making mistakes and making reaches for other reasons, right? So those things that never got handled. And we kept missing on guys. This guy should have been some. Okay, we didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like we knew the depth of issues with the defensive backfield, right? Seeing that as a challenge. You should have noticed that a year ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like there shouldn't have been a time where like one injury destroys your whole defense, allegedly. We had Jadaeus Richard go down. We saw what difference it made losing him. Right? Because and you also saw who we got in the portal, which wasn't, you know what I'm saying? To not say any names, but like it wasn't that. So it needs to be. It would be like it would have to be seriously considered. But also, when do you stop with the trend of losing that fourth-year coach to then start over again with another fourth-year coach. You know what I'm saying? And Oregon, the example you gave Oregon, like I don't like those comparisons because the foundation was different. The relationships were different, right?
What do you mean?
The foundations of what Mario laid with Oregon and the recruiting and the talent base was different. Like a lot of those guys didn't portal out, right? They stayed there because they knew they were talented. They stayed with Dan Lanning. And yes, Lanning took it to another level, right? He took the experience he had with Georgia 100%. But the ground level of what that was very, like, they were ready to, like, Phil Knight was like, yo, blank check, we're paying everything. Here they had to like do a fucking coup with, you know what I'm saying, people on the board and shit like that to change it up, to get people in line to be football. Oregon's been football, right? They just needed the right guy. Mario laid the groundwork and Lanning took it to a next level. Mario's laying the groundwork here, and it's hard as shit because it sucks when you watch other teams succeed when we're struggling. But the reality is we went 10-2 for the first time in over 20 years. Oregon's had multiple 10-win seasons, multiple Pac-12 titles, right? 22 years? Second 10-win season over 22 years, right?
No, 2017 we had 10 wins.
So, yeah,
second
season.
He's saying second
season.
Yeah.
Second season of 10 wins. Yeah.
Right.
So 2017, last time before that, we all were in high school or graduating college type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's been a long time. So those two things are different. You have to assess it. I don't know if you do fire him, but man, 8-4 after 10-2, boy, it would be fucking tough. It would be tough to get people, you know what I'm saying, yo, get going and get excited, because it's like with the way the season ended, the way recruiting ended, and it stays on that kind of like, you know what I'm saying, on that kind of shaky ground, it would be tough. But that's why, I mean, for me, if I'm the AD, I'd give him an extra year to see if he could change the trend. And if that doesn't happen, you have to start assessing. But it is a 5-year buyout.
We also, real quick, we also see the graphics, right? Miami, 75%, whatever, 5-star rate or whatever. Blue chip ratio.
71%.
Right.
Yeah.
Number one recruiting class in the ACC, damn near every season since he's been in. Right?
Right.
So, what are we doing? I got you. But personally, Ben, not business-wise, personally, what are you doing? Or how are you feeling after, if next year we go down 8 games or less?
Personally, this offseason, I don't even wait. I hire a former head coach as a defensive coordinator on that side of the ball to settle a lot of the shakiness. Like, if Dawson stays, that offense is going to cook, right? But if you don't, you got to make a change there, because you can't. And I know we go back and forth. You can't go into next season with somebody who the fans already have issues. You know what I'm saying? Like, have like animosity towards, and then the moment they show anything, like, what the? It'll be a quick way to get the fan base turned on you. Because, like, yo, you brought them back and the secondary still looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, that's personally. I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, the way I would feel about it. And that's not, you know what I'm saying, however anybody feels, how anybody feels. But for me, that's the change I would make. Now, because you do go into offseason with coming back with this, you know what I'm saying? Coming back with this, and it struggles. And it's another question where the offense is top 5. And we have that, like, weird, like, oh, we have a top 30 offense, top 30 defense, but they're giving up 400 yards rushing in one. You know what I'm saying? Like, those type of moments. I don't want. It's just insanity to me at that point. You know what I'm saying? Because it would be year 3 of why we're running a defensive end to the edges. Yeah, to me. So that would change it for me. And you know what I'm saying, we talk offline about other stuff, but yeah, that would be immediately the personal thing I would do.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Polk.
No, you don't fire him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one thing that he's done that any of those other coaches haven't is produce a 10-win season. He also signed an 8-year contract where none of those other coaches did.
Mm-hmm.
He has changed the culture from what it used to be, with the kind of like, okay, you know, kind of laziness, kind of just, you know, go out there and do stuff for yourself and try to show out and be artificial swag is kind of how I would look at it from years past. You know, whereas this year we got last year, I mean, even in Mario's first year, you can tell it's starting to shift. And I think this year it really took hold of guys being more dedicated to actually playing for the team and actually putting in the amount of work. I mean, I think bringing in Cam Ward was a huge factor in that, of course, just because of his work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of upped everybody else's game, and they wanted to say, "Oh, we need to get on this level too." I think even next year, like say we do go 8-4, I don't think he's on the hot seat in any form or fashion just because of what he's done and where he's brought this program to where it is now. And I think it's just, and we all know recruiting is not going to be an issue. We're still going to start getting talent and keeping talent. I think the biggest issue is going to come in the other coaches, the coordinator spots. I think that's going to be the biggest issue going forward, whether or not Dawson can maintain this level of offense, whether, we more than likely won't have the number one offense in the country next year because we don't have Cam Ward again. But I mean, if we're going to be one of the top offenses in the country again next year, you don't have an issue on the offensive side. The defensive side is what's going to be the biggest factor. Whether or not Guidry stays for next year, nobody really knows except those in the building. But if he goes out and does what he did again next year, what happened this year on the defense, he might be gone mid-season. But if he goes out there and does what he did the first year he came in with what he had, everybody was singing his praises. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is one of the best defenses we've had in so long. And since, Diaz was coordinator, it earned him the contract extension. So yeah, you can have one off year and jump back the next year. And I think that's why I don't think Guidry's not going anywhere next year personally. And, people in the chat are already saying fire Guidry, but I'm sorry. I don't think he's going anywhere until we see what happens with the defense next year. But as far as, the head coach goes, no, the university and the program have put so much into him and so much trust behind him. The only way I think he gets let go before the contract is out is if everything implodes and we have a 2 season like somebody else did.
So real quick, if, in your opinion, if he continues to win, let's say he's James Franklin, right, at Penn State.
I'm about to make this point, Joe.
He just wins 9, 10.
I'm about to make this point.
Every year, no playoffs, maybe a playoff here and there, no ACC championships. How long does he, is that cool? Like, how long does he get if that's the case? Like, is that acceptable?
I mean, if we're still in the hunt, if we're making, like, say we're making the ACC championship game, a couple times, but we don't win it. Say we're in the hunt to make the playoffs every year. I mean, it's kind of one. It's a flip a coin, I think, at that point, because do you take a chance and bring in a brand new guy, possibly brand new system? You got guys having to relearn everything again, probably having a complete culture change, because whatever coach, if any other coach ever comes in to take over the Miami Hurricanes, they're going to be nothing like Mario Cristobal. We can agree on that part. So, I mean, you're taking a chance either way, I think. It's like, do you bring in a brand new coach and then have a complete crash, and now you're looking at 500 seasons moving forward, and then you got to start all over again and do another head coach? Or do you stay with a guy that's consistent, winning 9, 10 games? Yeah, he might not get over that threshold, but maybe once. But you kind of got a way to see. I mean, that's just the way I see it.
Yeah,
I would rather have consistency and being at the forefront rather than bringing in something that possibly now you got to deal with mediocre all over again.
Okay. One thing real quick. Small difference in that, right? The ACC's margin for error is so much smaller than the Big Ten, right? Like Big Ten and Big Ten and SEC going to get guaranteed 4 spots, basically. You know what I mean? Like ACC is going to battle for 1, maybe 2. So you basically have to win the ACC. You have to either make it to the ACC title game or win the ACC to be guaranteed a spot. So James Franklin can go 10-2 every year.
Time out though. Mario didn't lock us in a stupid ass contract with the ACC. It's not his fault.
But I'm saying that's the difference.
Fault.
No, it's 100% the commissioner. He should immediately be fired. The commissioner should have been fired when he signed a 30-year deal. That's just dumb. He wasn't buying a house. Like, that's ignorant. But I'm saying James Franklin can make the playoffs every year. Like, because it'll be like 1 year he might play Ohio State, 1 year he might play Michigan. But a lot of that is like Northwesterns and Purdue. You know, they'll go 10-2, 9-3, and they'll get the benefit of the doubt, as opposed to an ACC team that's Miami that it's going to be 1 or 2. So,
okay. All right, CB, what you got, baby?
No, you don't fire him, man. I don't think so. I think it depends how it happens. That's why I had so many questions. Because I'm sorry, but shit be needing context sometimes. So that's why I asked some questions. I think both coordinators went 1-1. I wouldn't be upset if we see a different vision on defense, but I'm also understanding if they're like, okay, Guidry, we think you can ride the ship because we saw it last year. The argument is, yeah, but he had experienced safeties, but y'all keep DMing me, showing me experienced safeties that we should get in the transfer portal. So if he has experienced safeties next year, shouldn't the problem be fixed? If not, then stop making the argument that the defense was only good the first year because he had experienced safeties. You can't have both. So, but I also could understand the frustration from, man, that defense probably cost us something special this year, and it could be just time for a change. I understand both sides. I pulled up a couple coaches while my brothers were talking.
Sure.
Okay. Dabo started off kind of rocky at Clemson, 9-5, 6-7. If he's the Miami Hurricanes head coach, they probably would have been calling for his head. He went 10-4 after that, 11-2, 11-2, 10-3, 14-1, 14-1, 12-2.
Yeah, that's
it's been pretty solid until 2023 where he went 9-4. He had a nice little dip. I have to ask you a question. In a bit of a reverse situation, let's say Mario started out 11-3, 8-5, then went 6-6. You think people would still believe in the vision instead of the reverse on how it's happened?
Yeah, again, like you said, context. It depends on what the 6-6 is, how that's happening.
That's Lincoln Riley right now.
What the talent acquisition is. And all that.
His seat may be warm, but I don't think anyone is clamoring for Lincoln Riley to be fired because I think USC and their fan base believes he's a good head coach and they believe in his vision going forward. They do understand that he has a deficiency. He needs to hire a defensive coordinator that knows what he's doing on the other side to coach the other side. But I think there is something to, if you believe you have your guy from a coaching and a culture standpoint, sometimes you do got to ride with him, right? I mean, again, 11-3, 8-5, 6-6. The sky is not falling in Southern Cal because
but if he don't have an elite quarterback, though, he can't do nothing. So if he don't get an elite quarterback, they're going to be 6-6 again.
The sky is.
I don't think he'll be there. I don't think he'll be there.
But you see, they still do believe in his vision to go get that guy still. I see SC fans. They do. Now they did just lose Miller. All right, so this is a guy that is interesting to me. Is Harbaugh? Harbaugh went 10-3, 10-3, 8-5, 10-3, 9-4, 2-4. I think he's a bit different, but Harbaugh didn't get over the hump until later. Now, he did have some of those successful seasons without bringing Michigan what they really wanted. So I bring some of those guys into context because I ask, at some point, do you let somebody really establish their own culture? Do you trust in their vision going forward? I mean, if everyone does trust in Mario's ability to build a program, then I think having a 2-game slide shouldn't be cause to lop a man's head off unless it's a terrible showing in a 2-game slide. But I think we've seen a progression from this football team since he's taken over. I think we've seen a change in how they come just in the silhouette of football player. in the level of football player. I think he's done a fantastic job in recruiting that hasn't exactly fully translated on the field. Some of those guys have made a strong impact, but if we're going to keep it a buck, we haven't seen the bulk of his guys really be the stars on this team. Some of the guys were developed from when he got here, which he does deserve credit for that as well. Like some of the guys were young when he got here. So he didn't recruit them, but he damn sure developed them if they were here for 3 straight years. But for as much as he's known for his recruit, that's what I'm saying. For me, it needs to look a certain way this year. Jordan Lyle needs to hit. JoJo needs to hit. Bobby Washington needs to hit. Popo needs to hit. Ruben Bain has already hit, but we need to see Booker Pickett. We need to see Cole McConaughey. We need to see Joshua Horton. He's known for recruiting, so these homegrown guys need to hit.
This will be the first year of his first full recruiting cycle.
But I think the recruiting class that we all are basically going to judge him on is last year and the year before. I think those are the classes that he's kind of going to be judged off of. Those guys kind of have to hit. I think the fact that we do need to go get another portal quarterback this year is a ding on him. Whether you like the comment or not, I love my coach, but let's keep it a buck. Washington State fans that are saying, man, y'all should develop your own quarterback. Well, you got a point. You got a point. I mean, his job, his big deal, and he is a elite recruiter. I'm not telling you what someone's telling me. I'm telling you what I know. I talk to these young men.
Absolutely.
He's the truth. I'm talking about kids that's not even going to Oregon, that going to look you dead in your eyes and say, nah, but Mario, though, they had a shot because of that dude. Like, I'm not telling you what somebody telling me. I'm telling you what I know. But at some point, that shit does have to pay off on the field.
There's my dilemma, right? So for me, that's my dilemma, right? When you're a specialist in talent acquisition, right? So let's say you bring me Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, LeBron James.
Nobody's passing on this team. Okay.
You know what I mean? Let's say you bring me all of that, and year after year, I can't win with that talent. I have the best talent in the conference. And by the way, I'm in maybe perceived as the weakest conference in the Power Four.
Perceived.
It would be like the equivalent of bringing in a top air raid guy. Like you bring in June Jones to Alabama to turn around, like back in the day before they did Lane Kiffin. Let's say he said, I'm going to get June. And then they win another national championship running the ball for 3 yards a carry in a strong defense. We still won, but not for the reason your ass is here for.
Facts.
And I do think he's done a great job, though, because you look at guys like Ruben Bain. You look at the development of a guy like Jacoby George. X is a better receiver since he's been here. Isaiah Horton is one of his. You look at Mark Fletcher. You look at Jordan Lyle. You look at Maui Noah. You look at McCoy. You look at Inez Cooper.
I would credit him with Restrepo. I'd credit him with Restrepo because bringing Kevin Beard.
I mentioned X. Yeah. You look at going out. Yep, OJ was like that when he got here. Nobody else in the country thought OJ was like that though. The staff did. They went out and got him. They flipped him. You can argue that takes extra effort. They went out and flipped that young man. So they saw that from a 3-star. They have done really good with their talent acquisition. But it hasn't been quite elite yet. We've seen it work in some spots. It has not worked in other spots. I can argue that if you're elite in recruiting, you should not have to hit the portal to get experience all the time. At some point, first of all, you can't get experience if you ain't playing a motherfucker. So that has to mesh. I think it matters how it looks, man. I do think it matters how it looks. Yes, Florida is going to finish with a 7-6, 6-6 season, but it did not look good for half the season. Like, let's be honest. It didn't look good for half the season. The record is going to make it look like a softer landing. Then they look like one of the worst teams in the damn country at some points earlier in the season.
Yep. And I want to make sure everybody.
So it's hard, bro. But I don't know. I think you at least gotta. I think we go 8. If we win 8 games next year, I think you bring them back. I think you bring them back.
Yeah. I want to make sure everybody in the chat understands that this is not. I'm not talking about this year. I'm talking about moving forward. Like if we win 8 games for the next 3 years,
if there's a slide
I don't think
back,
anybody in this chat, I don't think anybody here is going to have the same tune, is going to be talking the same. I don't think anybody's going to be talking the same, especially if the talent acquisition is the same. You know what I mean? If we over the next 3 years average 8 wins and don't get to the ACC championship, I don't think I don't think as much as we love Coach Cristobal,
if I'm gonna be honest,
I don't think that's going to be the same.
I don't think that's the kind of. I don't think we have to worry about like a Mario team imploding or a Mario culture imploding, though. I mean, it could just be by college. I mean, I don't know what kind of bias it would be. The last taste we got in our mouths is a fucking loss, but I believe in that dude's vision. I do. Like, I'm just be real with you. That's why I'm not jumping off the damn bandwagon if it's 8 next year. But what Joe is saying, if it stays that way, but for me, I don't really feel like he would allow that. No, he's checked himself. He has let go of coaches in 1 year going, you know what? I made the wrong move there at that spot. To me, that does show a level of self-awareness that usually motherfuckers don't have when you give them a bunch of bread and the keys to the kingdom. He's got good self-awareness. I don't think Mario would ever let this thing implode. I just don't. I could be wrong. You could clip this and come back at me if it does implode in 4 years. But I do believe in the dude's vision. That's why I brought up Lincoln Riley, because I do believe in Mario's vision that if there was a slide back to 8, I don't think I'm jumping off the bandwagon. I don't. And I'm not saying he's Bill Belichick elite. He ain't Paul Bear Bryant. I'm not saying he's the greatest coach of all time. I'm just saying that I do believe that the culture he's building and the way he is trying to layer the thing that he's elite at, which is recruiting and talent acquisition, means that there won't be a massive slide, because I don't feel like there's that crazy gap in talent in between classes if you look at how he's built it out. So I do think this team is insulated to protect itself from that. There are some positions I wish we did better in recruiting in. I mean,
hold on, CB. Hold on. Let's get the super chat. Mo says, shout out to Mo, been here since the beginning, seen all the comments. Says, extend Mario. What coach wants to recruit like him? The man is obsessed with it. There's no doubt. And understand, like, what Joe is saying is a hypothetical situation where what if this happens? We're not, like, look, they could easily go 10-2. Things can completely change. We're saying if that trend from previous years can continue, right? That's what we're saying. The trends from, honestly, first-time head coaches that we've hired that shouldn't have got the job in the first place, just hired them because we liked them and they were on staff and all this stuff. Those were the decisions that needed to happen.
2 years in a row, Rocky. Sorry, I'm my bad, Ben. I was talking out loud. I was thinking out loud. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. But I'm saying, like, those are the things that factor in. So for everybody, like, I see a couple comments here, like, why Doom? We're just having the conversation of what if the trends from the last 20 years continue to happen? What are the decisions you make going forward? That's all this is.
Let's run through the comments and the questions real quick.
Some of them ain't gonna go too because some people are dumb. Especially
we're not.
Yeah, we had a troll.
I want to. Uncle Joe.
No, we're not showing. No, we're not showing that.
Don't, Joe. Don't.
We're not showing.
Don't.
No, we're not showing that.
Listen, I like having a conversation.
That's somebody burner, dog.
You don't have a conversation with a troll, though. You don't have a conversation with a troll. They just continue to troll.
That's somebody burner. Come with your real name, Jace, and then I'll talk to you.
Yeah, it's probably somebody burner off of your name. So Jay Singh says you have to attribute wins and losses next year to whoever the signal caller is. We won't be satisfied with 8 or less wins next year. We have Mateer, but the tune will change if Emery is at the helm. I think there's a lot of things up for It's a lot of things up for play. Like, you don't know. What you gonna say? Go ahead, Joey. You want to handle it?
No, my bad. I can't really agree with that. Why? if Emory is at quarterback,
hold on.
why is 8 wins? Why is 8 wins? Yeah, why is that the threshold? I don't think, because everything else is in place, right? You have probably the best O-line in the ACC. You probably have the best talented skill positions. It definitely the best running back room in the ACC. Why should that be the threshold? I don't agree with that.
Okay. All right, this CB, this one's for you. So how we're gonna do this for comments? All of us will answer one comment, and then we'll keep it moving. So CB, this one's for you.
Did you know they burned JoJo's red shirt this year? You know JoJo didn't red shirt this year.
Yeah, I know. It's burned.
Yeah, he played in 6 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's dumb, right?
CB is.
But go ahead.
Oh, what the?
It's funny to me that you're just now realizing this.
He just got it. He just went to the roster. Like, yeah, man, we could have told you that during the season.
I'm sorry, Rocky. You're right. My bad, Rocky. I assumed he did. That's my fault. Because, common knowledge says if you're not going to fucking play him, protect this red shirt.
Why burn it?
Whatever. We're good. We're good. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. We're fine. Set the edge. We're fine.
CB, New King God says, I completely disagree with CB. Georgia and Oregon are elite at recruiting, and they still go to the portal for QBs and everything else. That's back to your comment about developing in-house quarterbacks.
Portal, yeah.
That's true. But I mean, they went in the portal for CJ and Justin Fields, who didn't really play before they got there. It would have been like us going to get
they got Will Howard this year. Ohio State. That's Ohio State. My fault.
How did that work out? But but when they won, I mean, if you look at some of their quarterbacks, though, yeah, Justin Fields transferred in there, but he wasn't developed at Georgia. He barely played at Georgia. So yeah, Oregon. I mean, the argument there, obviously. I mean, Bo Nix, and then they went and got Dylan Gabriel. Yeah, but they're also the number 1 team in the country, and they got Phil Knight money, and they're paying stupid money to recruit. So yeah, you can recruit very well. You're the number 1 team in the country. Somebody asked me why the Purdue safety go there today. It's number 1 team in the country. You're gonna recruit well when you're the number 1 team in the country. I don't. But yeah, no, that actually is a good argument though, because two teams at the top of it have used the portal.
Everybody does.
Is anyone saying that Dan Lanning's thing is recruiting? Like, is that what he's known for? Is that his thing?
He's doing great at it.
That's the thing. He's doing really fantastic. Good. He's doing great. Yeah. Shout out to Zaire. Still gonna be up there next year. The next Penn State.
My fault. That's me.
My God.
3 years of a transfer quarterback though, and the onus that we put on Mario is that he's not developing his own guys. You know what I'm saying? Like that 30 years. Like you should have had by now you should have had a freshman taking a spot, but you go 3 years with a transfer. But I'm saying, but that recruiting class.
Phil Knight away from Dan Lanning, and Dan Lanning was Phil Knight there? He's been there, right?
He's been there.
Get there or
no? He's been there his entire life.
He's been there. Okay, yeah. I'm just asking because
the man is like 80 years old, right? Like he's been there forever.
I'm just asking. I don't.
I do agree though. Some have done it. Some have done it with a lot have done it with bringing in the 1 year portal guy or the 2 year portal guy. Yeah, I just firmly believe that if your thing is recruiting, you shouldn't have to. Dan Lanning's thing is not necessarily.
You shouldn't have to bring in portal people. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying not have to bring them in. You shouldn't have to go get one. You shouldn't have to go get a starting quarterback every year.
Why not?
If your thing is that you're an elite recruiter.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, I'm just looking. It looks like everybody does that. It looks like every team.
How many people's thing is that they're an elite recruiter?
It's not just Mario. I'm sure it's other people who.
Lincoln Riley, he's known as being an elite recruiter.
Yeah, he's about to get a portal QB, right?
He met. Well, that's the other thing though. Some of these dudes miss. They do miss. He brought in the number one quarterback in his class. He missed on him. He should get some credit for that or some failure for that too. Because if Mario gonna get the same thing, Lincoln got to get the same thing. Shit, Malachi Nelson still ain't starting nowhere in the country.
Yeah.
So he got to get a ding for that because we would ding Mario for that shit. We definitely would. If Mario brought in the number one quarterback in the country and he never played here, we would ding him for that. So Lincoln Riley got to get dinged for that shit.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like everybody's doing this shit. Like that's just
I want to be everybody.
I mean, but I want to win. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what you do. I want to win. So,
same. I'm with you on that.
How you do it? Fuck all that.
Let's get one for Polk here before we move on.
Why are we spending $700,000 bringing in?
It's a weird thing because like the grading that you give for this staff is different than how other people do it because everybody portals. Oregon has great safeties. They brought in a portal safety. But nobody goes, oh, why did Oregon bring in a portal safety? Everybody portals, though. Like it's a standard thing. So it can't be like, oh, I'm gonna grade him against this, but nobody else, but everybody else does it. But why the fuck are we doing it? Because we're not Dabo, son. Everybody portals. Everybody portals.
Yeah, but you don't grade Greg Schiano on his receivers because he's not known for receivers. I don't give a fuck
about Greg Schiano, though. Dog, like I don't care about Greg Schiano. Like what I'm saying is everybody portals and they go, oh, but we don't develop the young guys. Then why the fuck did Ohio State in their 12th year of a dyed beer head coach have to get portal quarterbacks?
That's what Ryan Day is known for, though. Ryan Day is not known for recruiting. It would be like saying Greg Schiano doesn't have speed at receiver. He's known to be a defensive coach, so you would expect his teams to be defensive minded and defensive heavy.
Who's known for
great
recruiting?
Coaches different.
Who's known for recruiting other than Mario?
Another nigga who should get fired soon, Brian Kelly. But he on the hot seat because this shit ain't working for him.
Yeah. It ain't working for him. Yeah.
And he's on the hot seat.
Is he known for recruiting? Is he known for recruiting?
Yeah, that's kind of his and offense. He's known for having explosive offense. He's a fantastic recruiter.
I feel like these schools
because remember they used to say the only thing that held him back from being an elite recruiter at Notre Dame was you can't get a certain amount of kid at Notre Dame. Watch him go to LSU and see what he. He did pull in some ridiculous classes. He just hasn't won with it yet, and he's in trouble. Why? Because the recruiting ain't paying off, and that's what he sells himself on.
Yeah, I feel like every top school you can say the coach is known for recruiting because that's what they do. Like Alabama, whoever's at Alabama, Kalen DeBoer at Washington, Kirby Smart, whoever, everybody. If you're winning and you're getting guys, I feel like you're kind of known for fucking recruit. I don't know. I feel like you're kind of known for recruiting. You have to be if you're getting all these 5 stars and shit. And
if you say Kirby Smart to someone, the first thing they think is defense.
I get it. Or winning.
Yeah.
Winning.
Or winning shit.
National titles.
As a defensive coach, though.
I mean, I get that, but
but he's still top elite level offensive player. So what does it matter?
Yeah,
because he knows to hire the right people on the offensive side. Kirby's a smart dude.
That's a different.
Right?
He ain't doing shit on the offensive side. He's putting the right people on the offensive side.
That's a different argument. That's recruiting.
Teams are known for what? Yeah. What are Kirby's teams known for?
Winning.
And Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart right now
is known for their defense. Kirby Smart is known for his defense. He's put 30 people in the league in the past 2 years on defense.
But that's also recruiting, son. What do you like? I don't.
It's not development. It's not development too.
It is, but he also started
there. There's also portal there. I mean, it's the same. They're
2 years in a row. They're looking at a portal quarterback. It's his 10th year at Georgia. But
that portal,
he hires the right guys.
I didn't tell you he was an elite recruiter. I said he's known for being he's an elite recruiter now because they win, not because he's an elite recruiter. He's a defensive coach. That's what he's known for.
So Mario, he has to portal, what you're saying. Hold on. Because he's only defensive minded, he has to portal to get elite offensive guys. So if a guy's an elite recruiter, he doesn't.
But if Kirby Smart doesn't have an elite offense, you don't blame him as bad as Lincoln Riley, though.
Where is this going?
Bro, we're not.
Yeah, I think we're off the topic. Well, I think we're off the topic.
Coaches have styles. Coaches have skill sets.
We were talking about recruiter. I don't know where this is going now.
The portal. We were talking about the portal. Right? Using the portal. Who has to use the portal? Who doesn't have to use the portal? I understand the argument for not using the portal, but I don't think you can not use the portal. I don't think you can do that
unless you're fucking Dabo, unless you're crazy. Like,
right? But even Dabo about to use the portal.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe that shit. I think people be lying, bro. Y'all be lying on these graphics, dog. Dabo not hitting up 8 kids. Y'all lying.
Yeah, hell
yeah, it's bullshit. It's absolutely lies. Don't trust that guy.
I believe the one that Clemson reported. I believe the one.
Yeah.
8 of y'all with Clemson logos. A lot of your mama, not me. He's not recruiting all these people.
All right, what's the next? Oh, my bad. We had an hour.
No, I do believe Mario should be judged on his talent, and he has done a great job with talent acquisition. He has.
Facts. But we're not worried about that. That's always going to happen.
He's done a great job with that.
That's always going to happen.
But it doesn't. That now needs to translate to wins, and if he needs to put stronger coordinators in place, and he needs to do that the same way Nicky Saban knew his offense needed to evolve.
Facts. And not just win,
because that wasn't his skill set.
Not just win, success. We don't need to be here at 9 wins every year talking about
James Franklin. We need to be James Franklin.
We're developing.
James Franklin.
We're developing. The culture.
Would you fire James Franklin? That's the question. Would you fire James Franklin?
I mean, I don't give a fuck about Penn State, but
okay, well, so let's just say this is Mario then. Let me read the numbers off for you. Let me just say this is Mario then. If it's 7-6, 7-6, 11-3, 11-2, 9-2, 11-2, 4-5, 7-6. Let's stop at that. He didn't.
No, but no Big Ten titles.
No conference titles.
No conference titles. He just never won.
I don't think he won any conference titles through this.
No, it's been Ohio State and Michigan.
Then for me, this is me personally.
4 conference championship. I mean, Penn State themselves has only won 4. I don't think he's won any.
He hasn't won.
No conference championships through any of that.
Yeah. See, for me, I'm different, man. I'm by nature a all or nothing dude. You know what I mean? I need to win. I need to win. Like going to the championship is not good enough for me. That's not success to me. Right. Like the Buffalo Bills going to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and not winning that shit. That's not cute to me. You know what I mean? LeBron James going to the finals 30 times and losing that bitch 20 of the 30. That's not okay. You went, but no. So for me, no. I need to win. We need to win this shit. Yes, for me. But,
all or nothing. Yeah, I get that. I'm with you.
For me.
Oh,
that's just
let's check it out.
Let's see. We're here. Let's get a question.
Someone told me to look up Kirby's record. I'm gonna look it up.
How he started. I think he went. I remember he also got it off Mark Riggles.
Boys called 8-5 rough. They said Kirby had a rough start. He started 8-5. Then he went 13-2, 11-3, 12-2, 8-2, 14-1, 15-0, 13-1, 11-2.
That's crazy. So is there a
8 wins rough?
Real quick, is there a coach that you can think of that comes in here? Let's say we swap out Coach Cristobal. What coach can come in here and win the ACC in 2025? Or, my bad, what coach comes in here and wins the ACC this year with Cam Ward? Is there a coach
same defense? Same defense?
Yeah.
No.
Currently, like someone that's currently on someone's staff?
Yeah, a coach in college.
Can I address
Kirby wouldn't let the defense be that bad.
Nick Saban.
Kirby wouldn't let the defense be that
Nick
bad.
Saban.
I don't think Shiano would let the defense be that bad.
It'd be a
Saban, I mean, coach. Yeah. I
So
I think any defensive. I think an elite defensive mind would have at least locked down
a defensive head coach, right? Yeah. So you have the same coordinators. So the offense is going to be the offense. And then you bring in, like Polk said, Nick Saban, Kirby Smart, a defensive-minded head coach. The coach at Notre Dame, right? Freeman.
Yeah.
Freeman.
Definitely.
Oh,
Definitely.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, but with Freeman, you gotta say, if it was the same year, you lose to Ball State, right? For like the comp of like losing to Northern Illinois, right? So like, if that's the year,
you have Cam Ward.
No, USF's a better.
He did not have Cam Ward.
Yeah, you have a different. You have this team, son. Like,
yeah, I think a defensive-minded coach would have probably the defense would have been at least solid down the stretch because he would have understood what he had on the offensive side.
Yeah.
Or I would hope so. I don't know.
Let's take a second and acknowledge the 3 names that we said are elite level head coaches. So it's not like you're not picking some random coordinator from off the wall. So that's you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not picking some coordinator at another place. Like, oh, this guy like Valdosta or Youngstown State would have come in here and won. You're talking about the cream of the crop and who you're comparing.
I don't know that Marcus Freeman is an elite level head coach.
No, but I'm saying
I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I know a bunch of college coaches like that though. But I think the dude from Syracuse probably too. I like him. He's nice.
Norman. Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
I like him.
But again, a defensive-minded head coach. That's who we all lean that way. Like, it would all be that. So
because it's recency bias. That's why.
Yeah.
If we were to talk about 2 years ago, we would end up talking about an offensive-minded coach. So I mean, it's just recency bias is all it is.
I like offensive-minded head coaches personally. But I'm an offensive-minded guy, so I think defensive-minded head coaches tend to kind of have boring teams at times. There are some exceptions to it, but
Kirby Smart has a bunch of titles to argue with that. And Nick Saban has a bunch of titles to argue with the defense.
He said boring. He didn't say winning. He said boring.
I literally just said there's exceptions, and they're boring. Nick Saban's teams were boring as fuck.
Nick Saban's teams wasn't boring though, because they offenses was popping.
Before he got Lane Kiffin, those teams were boring as hell to watch.
But that was a long time ago. So like that offense been popping for a while.
The games of the century was like
there's exceptions for sure, but for the most part, defensive coaches don't like a lot of fluff, and rightfully so. You win without fluff.
Facts.
Well, a lot of what now? A lot of what?
You went with it too. Okay. God damn it, Colt Brennan won a lot of football games.
Oh my God, it was fantastic.
But so did Jason White. So did Jason White.
Yeah, that's true. You're right, bagging up. All right, so before we get about it, you probably got a red shirt, dog. He just know. How did you just notice that? You watched all season?
Because that shouldn't happen, right? CB, like CB's like that shit.
No, because it's illogical.
We all come another rabbit trail. Here we go.
It doesn't make any sense. Is why.
Here goes another hour. Another hour.
Talk about something. He's gonna go.
There's nothing to say about it. There ain't shit to say about it. It happened. It just happened. There ain't shit to say.
Wait till he finds out who else did it. Wait till he finds out who else
you
did
need
it.
to put a text. You need to text somebody, CB, like, yo, how the fuck, how y'all let this shit happen?
Yo,
explain this
bro
to me.
Should have 20 catches if this is the whatever, man. Ben, don't we got a topic we got going on here? I had to do all this homework.
Yeah, one before we get up out of here, man, just real quick, because we could go on forever about defensive coaches. But Polk, you're absolutely dead on. 2 years ago, with that offensive side coach that we had, we all would have been talking like, yo, give me Lane Kiffin immediately. Offensive mind, like when we could 18 trips to the red zone and couldn't get a touchdown. Oh my God. Remember that Virginia game, son? It was like 12-10 in overtime. That's the worst football game. Oh, that was
overtime.
The go-go offense. I'm just kidding. Don't go get the go-go
stage
offense.
That bitch. Let that go. All right, fellas. So I asked y'all a question. I do. I like it too. Asked y'all a question about portal, right? We're deep in the portal. Had a bunch of visits. I think Keyshawn Silver, the defensive tackle from Kentucky's here. We had a couple of visits over the weekend. But I wanted to ask y'all, give y'all position groups. Wanted to ask y'all what 3 players you'd like to see, you know what I'm saying, either visit or on the roster. And very much on the surface, because we'll break them down if they commit and things like that. So I gave Joey wide receivers, because CB will be here for another 87 hours if we talked wide receivers.
None.
CB got
you shouldn't give me receivers. I'd have told you none.
You would have said
I'm almost on the same
right here
page.
burning red shirts.
Yeah.
None.
Polk almost
That's gonna
died,
come
bro.
up in every conversation, son. Yo,
Every time.
she burnt the chicken like they burnt that red shirt.
We're gonna wake up tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and the first text is gonna be, "They burned his red shirt."
Right, it's burning out here, just like that damn red shirt.
Hey,
Like what?
Oh, my
text
God.
thread, the overnight text thread from CB is classic shit. It's just gonna be 32 text messages. But I don't understand. Why didn't they have to burn the red shirt? This is ridiculous.
I'm gonna send y'all every play.
Oh,
send you every
what?
play.
Oh shit,
Is that
Keyshawn committed. Damn.
Somebody check that. I thought he was in Miami right now. So, all right. So,
No way they
Okay.
let that shit happen.
that would be wild, yo. Oh yeah.
I'm
I
not
don't
gonna
know.
hold you. I'm not that big of a Keyshawn Silver fan.
I was gonna say sometimes people be asking for crazy stuff
He's-
in the portal league.
He's in Miami
sometimes-
right now.
Yeah,
Is he?
he's in
I'm
Miami
just going
right
to
now.
Hayes. If Hayes Fawcett ain't say it didn't happen. It hasn't
Yeah.
happened.
No.
All right.
If
So,
Hayes didn't say it has not happened.
all right. So, like I
Yeah,
was telling
he's
y'all,
good.
Joe got wide receivers. I gave Polk defensive tackle. We didn't do defensive ends because I think we're good there as far as portal guys. And defensive tackles and linebackers, if we wanted to go there. CB got secondary. I think you could go on forever with that one. And I made it very difficult on myself because holy shit, I got offensive linemen and there's not much there. If I'm keeping it a buck that's not committed, yeah, offensive linemen. And I wanted
There's
to look at
one
running back.
that I would want. One or two.
There's one, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's thin. It's thin. I'm not even gonna hold you. So, and so I started looking at running back too. Also, you're just like a depth guy, not easy. So, Polk, since you have been quietly listening to CB, realize that JoJo got his red shirt burned this year. I feel like we should start with you. You know what I'm saying? To make sure you get some time. So let me know what are some of the guys you looked at that you not necessarily like. I'm just, you know what I'm saying, like that caught your eye. Let's put it like that.
I mean, the two that we're going after, I like both of them. David Blay, the Louisiana Tech kid, I think he's going to be one of the top guys he's gaining a lot of attention in. And I like Keyshawn Silver. I like both of them for their size. I mean, I think we really need to add some size to the D-line, especially those guys that can fill a gap and stuff runs. I mean, we got some kids there now that can, but I think you can. In my mind, you can never have enough D linemen to throw in and out. I like those two guys. Another one, and this might get some kickback on this one, but Bear Alexander. I mean, I know he's jumped around a lot. He's been to several different schools, but I think if you bring him in for the one season and you get production out of him, I mean the kid's he's a projected top pick.
Athletic.
If you can bring him in for one season and get some good play out of him, why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
The other at linebacker, I know we're going to need somebody just because the guys we got are younger. Aside from Wes, I think he's going to be the leader in that linebacker room next year. But the kid we got visiting from Nebraska, Makai, is it? I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Jabair or something like that. I think he'd be a great addition. He's got good size. He can cover. He can actually cover in the pass game. So I think bringing him in, I think would be a good addition. But as far as linebackers go, I haven't really looked at any other ones besides that one. So those were my three.
Okay, let me ask you a quick follow up because this is one of the things I struggle with. What class did you look at? Right, like did you look up upperclassmen? Did you look at younger guys to develop within the group? How did you, when you looked at it, like, okay, I like this guy. How did you kind of look at it? Because that's the thing I struggle with. Because like,
right,
with young guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, how'd you look at it?
I didn't really pay too much attention to it, but as far as the D-line guys go, I think bringing in 1 year rentals, I think would be the way to go for me. Just we have guys that are young already on the D-line, so it's like I said, you can't have too many of them. So to me, as far as the defensive line goes, I don't think it really matters if a guy's only got 1 year or if you could bring in a guy that can be here for 2 or 3. to me, it doesn't really matter in that position. Same goes with linebacker, really. So just because of what our roster looks like now, I don't think it's as big of an issue, say, with, the wide receiver room.
Facts, 100%. Yeah, all the size. This is one thing I think you need guys that are 350. You know what I'm saying? Like the big space eaters, 100%. All of them. Like I find myself like every one 330 plus. I'm like, oh, retweet. Yes, come on, just take a visit. Let's see what's going on. All right, Joey, what you got? Oh, real quick, Greg. The reason we're not covering as a group quarterback because we kind of only want one, and that one, you know what I'm saying? Like.
I think everybody's in agreement with that one guy.
Yeah. I think that's a consensus, right?
One, and that's it for me, at least.
Yeah. 100%. All right, Joey.
Just ride with who you got.
Wide receivers.
Yeah, I would CB, man. I'm not a fan of bringing in too many receivers. I would say 2 at the most. And I'm also a fan of moving JoJo inside to take X's slot spot. I think JoJo would be a beast inside. I think that's like an instant mismatch. I think he's savvy enough. I just think he's a good football player. I think he's good enough and smart enough to work that slot like it needs to be worked. And he'll get, he'll be that dude if he moved in there, in my opinion. So for me, you got Eric Singleton, CJ Daniels, or Caleb Odom. So 2 of those 3, I'm good. Like if CJ Daniels, I liked him last year. I was hoping we bagged him last year, man. CJ Daniels, I really like. Eric Singleton to me is probably the most electric out of all of them. Like he gonna take a screen to the house for 90, for 80. So I don't think you can deny him. And Caleb Odom is he's a problem. He's a big ass receiver, tight end, wherever you want to put him. I think he causes matchup problems. I think he can be Elijah Arroyo for you, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So as far as his pass catching and route running ability.
No doubt. All right, CB, what you got, brother? Defensive backs, which is both, right? Safeties and corners.
Oh gosh.
So shout out to Jason, shout out to Kane's Chief. He's been tweeting out a lot of guys' stats and snap counts and stuff. So I put together a little document here. I'm gonna just speed through some of these. Charles Brantley, Michigan State, DB, 6 foot, 170 pounds. Kids play 1,400 snaps because that's a good stat now. 103 tackles, 4.5 tackles for loss. I'm sorry, that was a shot. I'm a fan of Trav. I just thought it was funny.
Only time
5 picks.
Only time I've ever seen it as a stat is that. Yeah,
it's a stat now. 23 pass breaks up. He's got 1 year of eligibility left. He was all Big Ten in 2024. Fantastic corner. UNLV's got a corner, 6'2", 190 grad transfer, Tony Grimes. I like his length. I like his physicality. I like his ball skills, but I think he's tough. He's physical, does well, and press man. They put them guys on the island a little bit sometimes out there in UNLV. Ethan O'Connor. That's DB1 for me. Run me this boy. He's a freshman, 6'1", 172. Again, played 755 snaps this year, 32 tackles, started all 12 games as a redshirt freshman, 4 picks. He's got 3 years of eligibility remaining. He was 34th in cornerback, according to PFF, 3 spots ahead of OJ Frederick. So that just tells you how good he was as a freshman. Zachariah Poyser, I think it's his name, is the safety from Jacksonville State.
Who just left Miami.
Yeah, like that young man. Would very much like for us to bring him in. Another safety is Adrian Wilson, freshman from Washington State. fantastic defensive player. Like him quite a bit. 47 tackles, 3 pass breakups, 1 forced fumble. He's got 3 years of eligibility left. Like I said, 6'1", 206. He's got some good size on him. Another corner with some. You don't like him?
No, go ahead. He's talking about Gary. I left him out because my heart can't take it. He's my number one, Gary. He's my number one. But
he tries not to say it, so like he's hoping whoever's
Yeah.
Joey's been number one real quick. Joey's number one the last 2 years. We haven't gotten him, so he does. He's trying to reverse, like he's trying some Jedi mind trick shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't want to put it out there. So if it happens, like because if it doesn't, then he's got to look like that.
You want to talk about portal hopefuls? I'm at DB right now.
No. Relax.
No.
Nah, see, okay.
All right, let's get back. Marshall's got a corner. Junior Josh Moten, 6'1", 164. That sound about right, doesn't it? But he played 1,200 snaps at Marshall, 59 tackles, 6 picks, 15 pass breakups. Seems like he's a bit of a ball hawk. But he's got the size, right? 6'1" with some length that you like. Genesis Smith, the kid from Arizona. I think a lot of us are pretty high on bringing him in. I think any of those guys are a combination of those guys would work out pretty good. I think everyone wants the Jacksonville State safety. I like him quite a bit. I think O'Connor would be good. He's got some youth, though. So you may lose one if you bring him in. But I just think someone with that kind of experience you bring in, especially someone that saw some Pac-12 football, they air it out over there. So that would be cool. Not too sure about this dude, but I know we missed out on the other Purdue guy. So, yeah, there's a lot of talent out there at DB. It'd be nice if we could bring some of them in, because we'll probably just play Bryce Fitzgerald in 6 games or some shit like that. Burn his
It's not going to stop. No, it's not going to stop.
Next episode's name is going to be 6 games, huh? That's what we're doing?
But no, the depth is out there, and it seems like they're doing their due diligence. You're seeing updates kind of every day on the different DBs that they're reaching out to and whatnot. So, there's some guys that are already off the board. The safety from Purdue is off the board. Julian Humphrey from Georgia committed to Texas A&M. I think the kid from Kentucky is already off the board, right? He committed somewhere already, if I'm not mistaken. The DB from Florida, I think he already committed to LSU, or he's basically like a lot.
Jakeem.
Jakeem. Yeah. So, so there's some names coming off the board, but obviously with the depth and with some of these teams in the college football playoff, there will be some more guys coming off. Some redshirt freshmen, some sophomores that probably are bench guys or the first guy off the bench and they want to go start somewhere. They're not going to leave during a championship run. So the portal's still gonna pop off. So
he
be
mentioned
patient, but there's
Juan. He mentioned Genesis.
We did. We mentioned Genesis. Yeah, we mentioned him. Genesis Smith, 6'2", 203. I'm actually looking at him right now. 6'2", 203, 39 solo tackles last year, 2 forced fumbles, 3 picks.
Yeah, I like him.
See,
Nice.
Same question that I have for Polk, right? Where did you when you're looking at, shout out to King Chiefs, by the way, does amazing work. Follow him on what the fuck y'all doing, bust out the snaps and all that stuff. When you were looking at these players, right, were you looking at upperclassmen or players that can grow within or no?
A little bit of both. No, really, I was looking for a style of player, to be honest. I think we need bigger corners. I think we need 6'1", 6'2", guys with length, physical guys with ball skills. So I was looking at some of the guys when Kane's Chief was posting some of their snaps, some of their PBDs, some of their percentages from PFF. I want ball hawks, man. I think we lack true just ball hawks in the secondary. So. Big on that, but I productive football players really is all I was looking at. I wasn't really looking at it from a class standpoint because I don't feel like we're too overloaded in the corner or the safety room that if we bring in a couple, I don't think we're in too much trouble of losing guys that like we have some like serious aspirations for. Like I think if you bring in 2 safeties, Zaquan's still fine. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you're thinking like, oh, we bring in this person, he dipping. I think we're okay.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
And DBs rotate, so you could have, you know what I'm saying? You could have 3 safeties who can all get enough tape for the league in a year if they want to. There's no reason you can't accomplish that.
Yeah, for sure. Gentlemen, my section sucked. Wasn't a very deep group. A lot of these offensive line. I looked at mostly interior because a lot of these players I also didn't want young guys because I like where you know what I'm saying we have I did. I don't know why. Because I randomly, I'm saying, dispersed it. I didn't think like, oh, let me give myself the good one. No, this is trash. So interior offensive lineman, it's not great. Jordan White already committed to Vanderbilt. So behind him, you had Braylon Moore, Josh Thompson from out of Northwestern, a senior guy, interior. I looked at more center, right? Because you know what I'm saying, like that's kind of seems like the one place that we constantly get a transfer portal guy. Even though I would like SJ to have a real shot, Josh Thompson's the only one that kind of stood out. Bunch of snaps for Northwestern. He'd be a 5th-year senior, so he's in and out. Kind of the continuation. Maybe hand that off perfectly to an SJ. Braylon Moore. I think he's a redshirt sophomore. Yeah, but let's be serious for a second.
Nino, you could play SJ at guard.
Oh.
You could, but you starting Nino this year? That's what you're saying?
I trust Miraball's ego.
You know CV starting.
I know CV just want to play out.
If Miraball tells me he can play, he can play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So moving on. Josh Thompson's a senior, kind of the guy that I honed in on, because everybody above him has already committed somewhere else, and there wasn't any. And a lot of these guys are guards, and I don't think we need guards. You know what I'm saying? I think we're kind of solid at guard. Nobody really stood out to me. And as far as a tackle, one of the outside tackles, if you do want to go there, is Gunnar Hansen from Vanderbilt. Again, another. Let me see. Click this. Make sure I say this right. Shout out to 247, by the way. You get to see the whole timeline and see where they're at. Gunnar Hansen is
What's the kid from Liberty? Is he still on the
right
board?
Now,
Has that died down?
Offensive. Liberty, Jordan White. You talking about?
Is that his name? He plays center.
He's at it says Vanderbilt.
Is that him?
No,
Jordan White.
I don't think that's
Jordan White, right? 6'2", 300. I'm looking at him right now. This is Vanderbilt, 100%.
From Liberty.
From Liberty. Yeah. Yes.
Damn.
Okay.
I didn't know he committed already.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't hear nothing about him.
Yeah, Jordan White to Vandy. So yeah, there wasn't everybody above him kind of gone. And then as far as running back, because we have 4 on. If Damian Martinez doesn't come back, there wasn't much as far as upperclassmen to jump in. So there wasn't even like it was. I'm not bringing in a freshman. I'm not bringing in a younger guy. We have those already. Mm-hmm. So you were looking for just like a redshirt senior that has like 1 year left that's been, you know what I'm saying, producing somewhere else. Didn't see anything as far as 247. A lot of guys, just like 1 year guys, they were at like lower programs and trying to move up. So it was thin. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like I was looking into the shit. Like, oh, okay, this guy. Also, I was looking for like a 200 less. You know what I'm saying? 200, like 195, 190, like a quicker back because we have the big boys already. Didn't see anything as far as those that criteria because we got Fletch. You know what I'm saying? We have the bigger guys already. So so to bring a smaller guy, it was thin, bro. Like as of right now. So basically, just kind of hope bowl running backs jump in because right now it's not looking great. Even for like a reach, I didn't see anything that really stood out because a lot of guys didn't have snaps. So I
think we may get a running back just for the body. You know what I mean? So I think we'll probably get somebody. Yeah.
If nobody is going to jump in. We doing that? We circling back on that. If Brody from Bama jumps in, we circling back on that.
Yeah. You got back that. You got back
that. You got back. Hold on. Let me turn this right around. Yeah, just I ain't even hitting the blinker, dog. I'm cutting somebody off. I'm not. Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
Let me holler at you real quick, dog.
Let me talk to you, man. Come on, let me talk to you about something. But yeah, man. Yeah. As far as linemen,
I agree though. I don't think you got to go crazy at running back. You just need a guy. You need a body.
You just need a guy. You need a depth guy that's proven, that's been solid. Nothing. Somebody that shores up the room. Nothing crazy. Because there is a chance. You know what I'm saying, that Damian Martinez comes back, and then it's mute because then it doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? You just could get a guy in February to get a body. You know what I'm saying?
Apparently, there's a chance that Sam Brown comes back too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a possibility.
Yeah, I was reading that. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, man. I did enjoy looking at all the breakdown. Shout out to 247 and on 3. I like the breakdown because you get to see where these guys are at. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want except for maybe secondary CB, I don't want young guys. You know what I mean? I want like a 1 year rental to be like a, you know what I'm saying, like a little stepping stone to the young guys. I really don't want, except for the secondary. You know what I mean? That's what it is. All right, man. I got nothing else. Y'all got something for the people before we get up out of here?
I mean, there's a lot we can talk about, but we can save it for other shows.
There's other shows, yeah. There's a lot to talk about.
Hopefully, we see some.
Would you rather a 1 year quarterback or a 2 year quarterback?
If we're talking about one. Yeah, I want a 1 year guy. But yeah, I lean towards a 1 year guy because the other guys behind him, I don't want to be. I'm saying I'm looking at Luke and Darian. Like I want when Coleman comes in, I want him to, you know what I mean, to feel like he's battling with Luke for that spot. If we're keeping it a buck, I
see some people were down on Darian Coleman because of the game he had, the championship game. He had kind of I guess a performance.
A lot of pressure.
But
he showed something he hadn't shown all year though. He showed his legs. He didn't run a lot this year. So.
Yeah, and let's not forget he's just a junior, so he'll be back next year.
They got after him pretty good.
Yeah, but the whole year he got busy. Like so, if you just saw him in this championship, don't you know what I mean? Don't go.
He nice.
The one game.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Just arm
talent. He didn't have a bad game though. Like he didn't have a bad throwing game, to be honest with you. He had to use his legs a lot more though. He just that Heritage was just,
they're saying a non-quarterback had a better throwing game than he had.
Well, that's because they don't know ball. Because Malachi Tony's not a non-quarterback. He's not a receiver. He just became a receiver when he got to Heritage. He was a quarterback.
Right.
Yeah. He's not a receiver. He's a receiver now. He's just special.
Yeah, Bell.
He's not a non-quarterback. Like that release is worked on. That throwing motion is worked on. He has a quarterback coach. Like it's just,
But yeah, man. We'll talk recruiting after the bowl game. We got the whole offseason for that. I'm saying y'all enjoy the rest of your weekend. Appreciate y'all so much for rocking with us.
Real quick. And can you answer that, CB? Do you know of any JUCO O-linemen that were on?
No,
I haven't
seen us go after. The only JUCO guy I've seen so far has been getting some buzz. There was a DB, so the number one DB in the JUCO class. He's kind of the only JUCO guy I've seen this year. Whereas in the previous years, we knew, like, you remember Sione Laulea, like last year, there was some of the JUCO guys were more propped up last year. Even Shamar Kirk, which I don't know if people remember, like how for that little bit of his commitment, he was like the darling of recruiting for a little bit. It was like everyone was just trying to get him on campus. That was I don't know if people remember that, but in real time, that shit was like JJ.
That shit was crazy.
it was crazy. But no, I feel like I say that to say I don't think anyone's got that kind of buzz this year. I haven't seen it like on the timeline, like that kind of buzz for a JUCO guy this year. I could be wrong, but I haven't seen it.
Facts.
Not right now. Anyway, you'll see more when it actually gets into off season with JUCO guys.
Yeah, JUCO
and a lot of those guys want to go to one of the 12 schools that are still playing right now. So that's also probably why they're not even in the portal yet. Because you're coming from JUCO. If you got 1 year or 2 years left, like you're trying to go. You're trying to get it done. So
facts. All right, Polk, you got anything for the people before we bounce?
No, I mean we could go off on the QB thing, but we'll save that for another time.
Yeah, we got plenty of time for that. That's
none of us
that's
is
going
to
to
agree.
That's a whole. That's a whole 3 hour show.
Find two people in this fan base to agree.
Oh no, you can't.
No, we make people mad just having an opinion. Like, hey man, chill out. Like, it's just my preference. Calm down. All right, man. Appreciate y'all rocking with us, man. Appreciate y'all, everybody commenting in the chat. Make sure, you drop your guys who drop the names you'd like to see us go after for in the portal, man. For CB, Polk, and Joey. I'm Benny Boondocks. Appreciate y'all so much, man. Be good, be safe. We'll holler at y'all on Wednesday. Peace.